Hi friends, thank you very much for clicking ABC English. Friends, today on this video we are going to discuss the usage of have and has in our sentences. Friends, before we start, we should know the basics of have and has. That means the primary process or the primary rules of using have and has in our sentences. Friends, have is the base form and it is, that means two types of usage. It has two types of usage. One is it is a primary auxiliary. This is the first thing, primary auxiliary. That means it can be used as auxiliary verb. If it is used as auxiliary verb, obviously after that we have to use the third form of verb. Third form of verb means past participle form of verb, and it shows the complete action. The action is completed in the present time. To show this action or to show the time of this type of action, we use present perfect tense. At that time we have to use have as an auxiliary verb. This is the first thing. The second one is, my dear friends, it may be used as principal verb. It may be used as, the second very important thing is that, my dear friends, these have may be used as the main verb in the sentence. It may be used as the main verb. And my dear friends, whenever we use have or has as the main verb, obviously it shows the present time. And the second thing is that if we use have or has, it actually means belongs to, or you can say it shows the ownership. This is the main thing. That means we own something or we belong to something. It is the meaning of have or has. My dear friends, I think you can understand the meaning. Now we are going to start our questions. There are about 20 questions, and obviously we will try how many questions you can solve. Friends, the first question, John blank space gone to school. Here you can see this is the verb third form. So obviously before that we have to use have or has as auxiliary verb. Here from this structure it's clear. Now my dear friends, have is plural and has is singular. Has is used with the subject which is third person and singular in number. Friends, this is basically the part of subject verb agreement. In subject verb agreement, if the subject is third person and singular in number, obviously we have to use has. And if it is plural in number, whether it is second person, whether it is third person, always it is have. We have to use have. My dear friends, one thing I should inform it, I actually singular. I is singular. But if you think about the usage of this term, it is singular in nature or singular in structure, but its behavior is plural. That means with we use I with the plural verb have only in past indefinite tense or uh, only in past tense we use it we use the term I as singular. There you can see we write down I was. It is singular verb. It is also singular. But in rest of the cases, in rest of the situations, you can see I behaved like plural. Maybe it is singular, but its function is plural. That means it functions like plural verb. That's why we use have with it. So, my dear friends, I think the conception is clear to you. Now we can proceed to our questions. So, John, it is the subject. Here it is the verb third form. So, we have to use the auxiliary verb. So, you can see here John is the subject, and subject is John is a person, name of a person, and obviously it is third person, and it is singular in number. So, third person singular, it means we have to use has. The correct answer will be John has gone to school. Friends, this is the correct answer. I think it's clear to you. Next questions. Don't you blank space a pencil? Friends, you can see here it is we have used the term do. Obviously, it is present tense, and here you can see the term not. That means it the first auxiliary do is used. So obviously, it is interrogative sentence, and with it you can see not. That means it is negative interrogative sentence. It is negative interrogative sentence. Friends, as it is from this part do we can understand it is present tense. That means it is present indefinite tense and interrogative negative sentence. So from this structure it is clear. Now one thing we should always remember, if we use do, does, or even did in a sentence, after that whenever we write down a verb, that means the main verb, whenever we write down the main verb, obviously it will be v1. That means present form of verb, or you can say the base form of verb. That means after do, does, or did, we have to write down the base form of the verb. Friends, here you can see this is the auxiliary verb. So obviously we cannot use another auxiliary. We have to use main verb here. And here we have to choose between have or has. So here whatever form we use, that will be the main verb. And have is the base form of this verb. Actually have is plural form and has is singular form. It has different forms. You can see had is the past form, had is also the another had, that is also the past participle form, and you know my dear friends, having is the continuous form and has is the singular form. These are the five forms of the verb have. Have is the base form. Actually the present form is the base form of any kind of lexical verb. So friends, I told you after after do, did, or does, always we have to use the present form of the verb. So obviously the answer will be have. So we should write down have here. So don't you have a pencil? This is the correct answer. Friends, I think you can understand the logic. Blank space. You ever been to London? Friends, here you can see there is question mark. So obviously it is interrogative sentence. And friends, here you can see we have written the verb third form. So been is the past participle form of the verb be. This is the base form, and friends, be is the base form and been is the past participle form of the verb be. So my dear friends, obviously we have to use have or has as auxiliary. Friends, this is the auxiliary verb. We have to use it at the beginning as there is the question mark. And friends, here you can see you is the second person. Friends, is you is second person. These you may be singular or these you may be plural. There is no such problem. Maybe singular or maybe plural. Whatever it may be, always we have to use have with it. So the correct answer will be, have you ever been to London? So my dear friends, this is the correct answer. I think you can understand the logic. Next question, Jack blank space a pet named Max. Friends, here you can see Jack is the subject and Jack is a person. That means it is third person and singular in number. So obviously we have to use has. Jack has a pet named Max. Here has is the main verb here. Has is the main verb. Friends, I think you can understand. Next question, you and he blank space passed the exam. Friends, here past it is the third form of the verb, past participle form. So obviously before that we have to use auxiliary verb. That means whatever we use have or has, that will be the auxiliary verb. And the verb, whenever we choose the verb, so first of all we have to think about the subject. Here the subject is you and he. You know, my dear friends, you is the second person and he is the third person. Now the now the now the concept is that here friends you can see suppose this is one person, this is another person. That means it became plural. There is no such doubt that it became plural. So if it is plural, then without any hesitation we should use have. Maybe it seems or it is awkward in listening. There is no such problem. After he always we use has. But here there is another word which is you. There is another word which is you. So obviously it has become plural. We have to write down have here. We have to write down have. That means you and he have passed the exam. Maybe it is awkward to listen to it, even though it is correct. My dear friends, don't be confused. It is correct answer. You blank space has, friends, we have made a mistake here. Just forget about this thing. You blank space 3 letters. Friends, normally we use you have. You have. Friends, whenever you is a personal pronoun, that means it refers a person or it refers a thing. Personal pronouns means the particular word, any kind of word, I, we, you, or even it. Whenever these words are used as personal pronouns, it refers any kind of person, it refers any kind of person, or it refers any kind of thing. This is the main thing. It has to carry the meaning of a person or any kind of thing. If it is not, at that time it is not personal pronoun. So if it is not personal pronoun, so obviously we will not use this form as a personal pronouns, or we will not use this as the process of personal using personal pronouns. So obviously you can see here you is just a word. It means a word. From these sentence, it is clear that you is not a person. It is just a word. If it is a word, so obviously it is a noun. It is not pronoun here, it is a noun. If it is a pronoun, it has to refer a person, but it does not refer any kind of person. So it's a word, so obviously it's a noun. Why am I saying that it is a noun? Because it is used as the subject of the sentence. And subjects are from, my dear friends, the nouns or the pronouns may be the subjects only. Any other part of speech except noun or pronoun cannot be the subject of a sentence. So it is not a pronoun, so obviously it's a noun. So whenever it is used as noun, at that time we cannot use we cannot use have, we have to use has. That means you has three letters. You can see here y is a letter, o is a letter, u is a letter. So there are three letters in the word you. Here, this is the meaning. Friends, whenever we use this kind of subject, friends, whenever we use this kind of verbs, always we have to be very much careful about their meaning. So here, if you think about the meaning, it is very very easy. And if you do not think about the meaning, only if you look at this word, so there will be a mistake. So be careful. Again, there is a mistake. The question is, does he blank space occur? Friends, we have to choose have or has as the main verb. And in previous questions, I have told you, if we use do or does or did, do, does or did in a sentence, after that we have to use the base form of the verb or the present form of the verb, and that is have. So the question will be, does he have occur? We cannot write down has here. The correct answer is have. Friends, I think you can understand. Friends, it's a very important concept. Friends, think about the structure here. What you have decided, blank space, a logic. So my dear friends, here look at this part. What you have decided, it is the subject of this sentence. A logic, it is the complement. And we have to choose have or has. Friends, here have or has is the main verb, because there is no other verb in this sentence. Friends, this entire clause is the subject of this sentence. So obviously it's a noun clause. Friends, whenever we use any kind of noun clause as the subject of a sentence, it is always singular. Remember it is always singular. It cannot be plural. So as the subject is singular, obviously the verb should be singular. So have is plural. So has is the singular form. So what you have decided has a logic. This is the correct answer. Friends, I think you can understand the logic. Next, Ram, his wife, and their son, blank space, a beautiful family. Friends, here you can see Ram, one person, his wife, two persons, and their son. Three persons are there. So obviously the subject is plural. It became plural. Whenever we are using more than one subject, it is joined by and, obviously it is plural. So as it is plural, so we have to write down the plural verb, that is have. We cannot write down has here because has is the singular form. Has is the singular form. So have is the correct answer. Ram, his wife and their son have a beautiful family. Friends, I think you can understand. Ram, along with his wife, blank space, taken the unanimous decision. Friends, you can see taken is the verb third form of the verb. So whatever we have to use have or has, that will be the auxiliary verb. It's clear from the structure. Now we have to choose. Friends, it is a part of subject verb agreement. And in subject verb agreement, if the subject is singular, so obviously the verb will be singular. If subject singular, verb will be singular. If the subject is plural, then verb will be plural. So we have to decide whether the subject is singular or plural. Friends, here you can see along with. It is basically a preposition. Whenever we use any kind of preposition, my dear friends, after that we have to provide its object. And this object will be noun or pronoun, you know it. So as along with is a preposition, so obviously his wife is the object of this preposition. And you know, in subject verb agreement, we do not think about the object. So wife is the object here, object of this preposition along with. So in agreement, this part is not important. So the most important part is Ram. This is the subject. This is the subject. That means we got our subject. And if we think about the nature of this subject, it is not first person, it is not second person, so obviously it is third person. As it is third person and Ram refers only one person, so it is third person singular number. It is third person singular number. Obviously, the verb will be singular, and here has is the singular form. So Ram, along with his wife, has taken the unanimous decision. Friends, this is the correct answer. Friends, this is one of the most important questions I have ever seen in this practice set. The man next door, blank space, had an accident. Friends, here you can see the term had is used. Had may be the V2 form, that means past form, or it may be the V3 form. Friends, after the blank space had is written, so here we have to write down either have or has. Either have or has. So obviously these have or has will be auxiliary verb and this is the main verb. That means this is the main verb. So my dear friends, you have seen the main verb. So we decided that had is the main verb and it is not V2 form. If it would be a V2 form, that means past form, we did not need any kind of auxiliary. So obviously it is V3, third form of the verb, past participle form. And before that, if we use have or has, it will be present perfect tense. That means we have to use have or has here. Have or has. And this will be decided by the subject. So think about this. Here in this part, the man next door is the subject. Friends, here next door is the description of this man. So the subject is basically the man. The man is singular, so obviously we have to write down has. That means the man next door has had an accident. Friends, this is a correct sentence, correct structure. Don't be confused. We are using two same verb. Maybe two same verb we are using, but but if you think about their usage, it is auxiliary verb and it is main verb. This had is main verb, so we can do it. We cannot use the same part of speech repeatedly, but we can use the same word in different parts of speech. That is okay, that is correct. Don't be confused with it. My dear friends, I think you can understand the correct answer is has here. The children, blank space, solved the problem. Friends, this is the verb third form. Before that, we have to use auxiliary verb. And auxiliary verb will be have or has. My dear friends, the children, friends, you know this is the plural of child. Child is the singular, children is the plural form. This is the plural form of the noun child. So as the subject is plural, so obviously the verb will be plural, and have is the plural form. The children have solved the problem. This is the correct answer. So A, have is the correct answer here. Blank space, he learned the language. So my dear friends, it's an interrogative sentence. So obviously at the beginning we have to use have or has. That means it is the auxiliary verb, because you can see learned is the main verb here and it is the third form. So the problem is we have to decide whether we should use have or has. Friends, here you can see the subject is he, and he is the third person singular number, so obviously the answer will be has, because has is the singular verb. Has is singular. Here the subject is singular, so we have to use the singular verb. So has he learned the language? This is the correct answer. The girls, blank space, visited the zoo. So here you can see the subject is plural. Third person plural. Plural in number. So obviously the verb will be plural. Have. The girls have visited the zoo. So this is the correct answer. Eat, blank space, four legs. My dear friends, it is also a very good question. My dear friends, the word eat. Friends, it is always singular. It does not have any kind of plural form. If we write down the plural of it, that will be they. That will be they. That means the term it is always singular. So as it is singular, so obviously we have to use the singular verb has. It has four legs. We no need to think about the meaning of this word. Actually, its meaning is empty here. It is an empty word here, because we cannot get its actual meaning from this sentence. We can guess a meaning, but obviously we cannot find out the actual meaning of this term. That's why we are saying it is empty in meaning. It may be an animal, it may be a thing. The table has four legs. So the cows has four legs. So whatever, it cannot provide us a particular meaning. So here, friends, just remember this term is always singular in nature. So obviously we have to use the term has. The next question, my dear friends, every cloud, blank space, a silver lining. Friends, here you can see the term every. Friends, each, every, this term is always singular. So we no need to think about whatever it is written after this word. Actually, it is distributive pronouns, or it may be used as, here it is distributive adjective. and it refers distribution. That means it refers individual reference. It gives us individual reference. So always it is singular. If you see each or every this type of word anywhere, obviously it is singular in nature. We have to use the singular verb here. So the answer will be every cloud has a silver lining. Friends, I think you can understand the logic, you can understand the meaning. Friends, the next question, the trees in the garden, blank space, grown very big. Friends, here grown, this is the third form of the verb. So whatever we use, that will be the auxiliary verb. There is no such doubt. Now the question is what to write down as the auxiliary verb. Friends, here you can see the term in. It is preposition. It is preposition. We all know it, it is preposition. As it is preposition, so obviously we have to provide its object. So the garden, this is the object of this preposition in. So garden is the object. So in agreement, my dear friends, in agreement, this part is not needed. We no need to think about this part. This is a prepositional phrase. Actually, my dear friend, prepositional phrase may be the adjective or the adverb. And you know, adjective, if it is adjective, obviously it will describe a noun or pronoun. If it is adverb, it may be modify a verb, it may be modify any kind of adjective or even the other adverb in the sentence. So think about this one. If it is adjective, so it will be the description of a noun. So here it is the description of this noun. That means this part is the subject. This is not the subject. This is basically the description of the subject. Here the subject is the trees. So this part is the subject, the trees. And you know trees, it is plural. You know, my dear friends, trees, it is plural. It is third person, plural number. So obviously, we have to choose the auxiliary verb which is plural in nature. So have is plural. So the answer will be the trees in the garden have grown well. So my dear friends, the correct answer is have. The trees in the garden have grown very big. Friends, this is the correct answer. I think you can understand the logic behind it. He with his friends, blank space, completed the homework. Friends, the same thing here with this is the preposition. So obviously his friends, this is the object of this preposition. So he is the subject here. He is third person singular number. So obviously the correct answer will be has. Dear friends, so he is the third person singular number. And you know, my dear friends, has is singular form. Has is the singular form. So my dear friends, the answer will be he with his friends has completed the homework. Friends, this is the correct answer. Friends, don't be confused. Maybe it is awkward to listen to it, as you know there are friends. The close word is friends. It is plural. So maybe it is awkward to listen to it. But this is the correct answer. Has is the correct answer here. He with his friends has completed the homework. Friends, this is the correct answer. I think you can understand the logic. January blank space 31 days. Friends, January is the name of one month. So my dear friends, as it is, so obviously it is third person here because it is not first person, because first person refer the speaker. Second person refers the listener. It is not the speaker or listener. So obviously it is third person. And January is name of only one month, so it is singular. So it became third person singular number. So obviously the verb will be singular. So has is the singular form. So the correct answer will be January has 31 days. Friends, this is the correct answer. I think you can understand. Friends, here you can see the question. Dear blank space strong legs. So we have to choose the verb have or has. Friends, here we have to think about the subject. Subject is dear. Now the problem is that the singular form of the dear is dear and plural form also the same. That means this part may be singular or plural. That means dear may be singular, dear may be plural. Now we have to decide whether this term is singular or plural. My dear friends, here we have to think about the meaning. Friends, look, dear blank space strong legs. Friends, it is the adaptation of deer that they can run very fast because it is their duty to save themselves from the attacking of uh, any kind of animals like tigers, lions, etc. So, my dear friends, it does not mean that only one deer has strong legs. That means all deer have strong legs as they had to fight against the and they had to run very fast. They had to run very fast to save their lives. So all the deer have strong legs. So my dear friends, these deer is from this meaning it is clear that this deer is plural. That means it is in general deer. That means the word refer all kind of deer, all deer. That means this is plural. As it is plural, so we have to choose the plural verb. Deer have strong legs. My dear friends, this is a correct answer. I think you can understand the logic behind it.